In a post on social media, U.S. Secretary for Homeland Security said the vessel was carrying sanctioned oil used to fund narco-terrorism. It comes 10 days after the U.S. seized the Venezuelan oil tanker that's called the Skipper. Trump has announced a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving the country. He's also refused to rule out the prospect of war with Venezuela amid a large U.S. military build-up in the Caribbean, including the Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier. But the Brazilian president, Lula da Silva, has warned that U.S. military action in Venezuela would spark a humanitarian catastrophe. Well, one regional leader who openly supports U.S. military action is Javier Milei, the president of Argentina.
Argentina welcomes the pressure from the United States and Donald Trump to liberate the Venezuelan people. The time for a timid approach on this matter has run out.
The second time we've seen them respond so fast. The first one was when the first vessel was taken, and they said, and I quote, "This act will not go unpunished." They say that they will file a complaint against the United States, and they will file it to the UN, to the UN Security Council, and other instances. They didn't specify which ones. But the interesting thing here is that they are avoiding any kind of military action against the United States, even though all the threats are pointing in that way, in the military action. But Venezuela is not going for that. They actually said in this statement today that they were going to act legally. They were going to take legal actions. And that is very, very interesting. We've seen how the Venezuelan government hasn't responded against the United States, not only with the seizure of the vessels, but also planes coming so near the Venezuelan airspace. And it's a very interesting angle to see how they are avoiding any kind of military action against. We know also that the vessel was going to China, and some reports claim that it was carrying up to 2 million barrels, which is an absolute hit straight to the Venezuelan economy and to the Venezuelan government. And we are seeing panic in the streets after the first vessel was seized, and now more than ever, what we're looking at, how it translates in Venezuela, is people lining up to fill up their cars with gas. Because in the past, when something like this happened, or when the oil industry was being under attack,